Hi ladies and gentlemen, this is just a quick before we get started thing. What you're seeing in front of you is footage of me getting the skills that are available in the battlefields in the Rafala region. There are 2 enemies that teach skills, and there are 3 skills to get. The first enemy is the Tricker, and it is a thief type enemy. The first skill it can teach is called Flying Kick. Flying Kick is a move that uses your agility in the damage equation. It's basically the agility equivalent of charge. The other ability that it can teach is called Target. It will only use Target if it is blinded. And Target is a move that has a very high accuracy. I don't know if it's cannot miss or not because I never use it. It's not very good. It halves the damage you do. But I did pick it up and learn it. The other ability that we can get out here is from an enemy called the Lizard Man. The Lizard Men are not particularly scary or anything like that. You just have to wait for them to use Wind Strike. Wind Strike has no special abilities. It costs 1 AP, does wind elemental damage, has no additional effects, unlike, say, Frost Strike, which has a chance to put enemies to sleep. It took me about 9 minutes or so to get all 3 of these abilities, and I cut out the 3 minutes beforehand and then sped it up 300% there. So enjoy the rest of the little aside here before we get started. Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to Breath of Fire 3. When we last left off, we made it to the east here, and I did some leveling off screen. I did a few things off screen. I had to fight 30 battles. This is a really good time to boost up your levels, catch anybody up, so that you can get the really good skills for the masters that we've been going through here. So I got Ryu up to level 17, and then when checked fall, and he let me do it. He let me be his master, or he let me be his apprentice. I don't have anybody apprentice to fall at the moment. Fall is a really good defensive. He's a very good defensive master. Lots of HP, lots of defense, but really bad speed. I want to put him on Pico, but I want to do another master first that's not available until we finish here in this region. Off screen, so I got enough levels to get all but one of Bunyan's skills, so I have those. That got me Risky Blow, Focus, Super Combo. And when I get to level 19, I'll be able to go back and get Disembowel. Gar just learned Trump from Gyato. Trump's not great. If you have 0 AP, it casts a random spell for free. It's not really particularly good. And then I learned, what is it called? A Sanctuary from Yggdrasil. Did I learn another ability? Did I learn the second ability? Yes, I did. Recall. You learned Recall and Sanctuary. I learned both of those. She needs to get to level 18 to learn the spell that I really want, which is Shield. So, yeah. So I fought the 30 battles with this party right here. Blitz is really good for this... For Gar, because he's got lots of attack power, lots of hit points. So he's got Blitz on right now. I have Wind Strike and Frost Strike on him, as well as Double Blow, because he kind of suffers from... He can't really do much against except like physical attack and do some fire damage. That's it. That's all he could do. So these strike abilities give him a little more flexibility because they don't cost a whole lot of AP. That's Gar's biggest weakness. Like, even though physical attacks are much better than magic in this game, Gar just doesn't have the AP to do the really good physical attacks. Well, not naturally anyway. So that's why I have him on Gyato, so he can start like working on like getting a base of physical, a base of AP that he can use to cast use abilities later on. Generally, I don't use Gar though, but I still like building him as if I'm going to use him. Blitz is really good. Nina has Magic Ball. Snooze. I put Snooze on her because we were fighting 30 battles and she kept running out of AP. So, you know. Burn. So Ryu still has Influence because it's good to have Influence just always available on your pocket. Backhand for similar reasons. There's enemies in the game that you need to get below certain amounts of HP thresholds before they'll do things. Rest, so he can, you know, restore his AP, because he is the best healer in the game. Although I might move that over to Momo. Burn, I have Burn because there is a there's an enemy in an upcoming dungeon that you have to do fire damage to kind of wake it up, and it teaches you a skill. So and Spirit Blast I have on because it ignores defense, and there's a few enemies in the game that, well, they have a whole bunch of defense and they're annoying to fight, so Spirit Blast helps a little bit. I am going to bench Gar. Pico's the same currently. I haven't put him on any masters. He does have Monopolize on him. I went ahead because as I was moving around my skills, I went ahead and did that. Momo has Super Combo, which I learned from Bunyan. Bunyan is my favorite master in the game. Super Combo is probably I'd say it's the third best attack in the game, and you get it a lot earlier. So the way Super Combo works is they press you for button prompts, and the more buttons you hit, the more damage you do. The great thing for Momo is that she has a surprising amount of AP. You know, she's falling a little behind, but she has plenty of AP for what she needs to do. But Momo, using Super Combo, cannot miss. Super Combo has perfect accuracy. It cannot miss, which is why it's a good ability for Momo. And it frees up Shadow Walk for another character, if you want to do that. Typhoon for AoE. Bone Dart and Blind, I have those on Momo because the way applying status effects works is your intellect plays a big part in the calculations for that, so why not? And then Focus and Steel. Focus just because, Steel because she's my fastest character. And that's it. I also did some fishing. I don't want to go too deep into the fishing I did, but basically I got 4 black basses. I ended up getting 9 basses, but that's not because I was looking for them. That's just because they're in the same area and use the same attack the same bait as the black basses. Same with like the trouts and the piranhas, blowfish. I got 4 sea breams and 4 black porgies. The reason I got those is there's a Manillo on the other side of the volcano that I want to buy some stuff from. This is very optional. Another like very optional thing that you can do is you can get 9 of, I think it's each of the basses. So you get 9 bass, 9 black bass, 9 sea bass, and then take them to the Manila. There's a Manila on the beach where Yato is, I want to say. Anyway, there's a Manila. He'll trade. It might be the one over in the McNeil region. But if you get those, you can buy a Holy Mantle. And the Holy Mantle supposedly lowers the encounter rate. I don't really bother with that. Oh, I also purchased up to 50 vitamins and 99 herbs just to have, because I had a lot of extra money. You end up with a lot of extra money when you're, fighting 30 battles in a row. That's a lot of battles. Alright. Just talking to all the NPCs, taking it nice and slow. Hotel Singar. Exit. Alright. Well, that's awful nice of you, man, with chicken leg. Yeah, the boat is stuck for repair. So the story right now is the boat is stuck for repairs in the town that's across the lake. Well, we can do that. Or what, sir? Alright, I do believe there's one more chest, one more item that we can get. I think it's 1,000 zenny. There's not much in this place. There's like 3 items. There's a Molotov, the Panacea, and then 1,000 zenny, which, hey, money's money. Well, they puff up. So, stylistically, this is my favorite NPC in the game. Just the content look of the frog, man, puffing the pipe. Like, I want him to join my party. Excuse me. Alright, here we are in the shipyard. But we're learning lots of lore about the world here. I'm having flashbacks to the ship mechanics later in the game. I mean, we can handle some monsters. The monsters in the lighthouse are not that bad. They're annoying more than anything, to be honest. They sap your AP and stuff. They're annoying. Hey Shadis, how you doing? We need a boat. Give me boat. Aww. Can't sell us a ride right now. So, what you have to do right now to advance the plot is leave. That is true. I don't live near the ocean. But I have a friend of mine that does, and saltwater is really bad for cars, it turns out. To be honest, I don't know why people... The road is faster anyway, with the exception of course, like, in this time period, you know, there was a volcanic eruption. I mean, we live in a world with ice magic. We could solve the lava problem, I imagine. But, like, I kind of expect it to be kind of a, like, against union rules thing. So I've always kind of envisioned it in my head. Like, this doesn't make sense, you know, on, like, why they haven't solved the problem. Well, it's against union rules to touch lava. Also, I think that we could have... I feel like Momo could probably, like, a good conversation with, hey, this is the daughter of the man who built the plant over in Windia. Like, she's good with machines. Do you mind if we take a look at the, you know, and then just we escort somebody into the lighthouse for, you know, whatever. It's like, this is a thing. They're a commerce guild. I bet you that they do not like sitting idle, but, you know, this is Breath of Fire, and you gotta take the longest possible way around. And, of course, we have Momo... not Momo. We have Nina, deciding to meddle. So you have, there's two options here that you can do. So, in the upcoming thing here, you can... There's a reward for the, completing this next section. What happens is, so you give the NPC a piece of a sword and a piece of armor, and then you're rewarded with the weapon and armor that is one hex value higher in the memory. So if you give, for example, if you give the NPC, he uses swords, so if you give him a bollock knife, you'll get a bronze sword back. By the way, I have 13 broadswords because you can steal them from the lizard men out there. If you give him a Scramasax, you get a moon sword. You give him a moon sword, you get a claymore. You give him a claymore, you actually get a weapon that you can't get for a little bit called the flare blade, or flare sword. The flare sword's a little weaker than the claymore, but it's fire elemental, so that's like its special thing. I generally don't use the flare sword, but if you're doing like a challenge run where you don't do any dragon transformations, the flare sword is actually very, very good. And if you have the money to get a second claymore, or you won the claymore in the battle against the extra claymore in the battle against Atrio, then give it to him and get it. Otherwise, just give him the Scramasax. You get a moon sword. You can sell it for quite a bit of money. As for equipment, if you give him scale mail, you get a creep cape, which sells for less than the scale mail. So my recommendation is to give him the chain cap that we got earlier, which will give you a scale mail. Nina has no tact. She is the princess. You will do as she wills. Yeah, but Zig's an idiot. This is actually one of my favorite, like, little side quest, because it's not irrelevant to our path forward, it does feel that way, but like the mechanics of this training this NPC for a boss, so he can fight the boss for us, is really, really interesting. Yep, we got to try. Got it. Ready. So you have to train him at least once to get the option to go to the lighthouse.